I've done multiple takes of this video because I'm trying to get my words out and trying to make it understandable and digestible as a content creator to be able to tell you exactly why I think you shouldn't summon for Castorice. And it's tough because there's a lot of information in general about why this is an issue, but at the same time, I feel like it has really been covered a lot. So I am going to cover a should you summon. I'm not going to make this about meta. I'm not going to make this about anything else but how I feel about this whole Castorice thing. I had a video planned about my opinions of the Castorice global passive, but I wanted to wait until the banner was about to come out and put my thoughts out there because I feel like that's the opportune time. Plus, hopefully I get some eyes on this. So if you like the content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. For those who don't know, in the 3.2 special livestream, a character was announced named Castorice. Now, Castorice has been a part of the story for a little while, since the beginning of 3.0. And she was one of the characters I was super excited about. I love her design. I think she's gorgeous. I think she's cool looking. Plus, she summons a dragon. That's insane. I think that's pretty cool. Her pet is a dragon. Sorry, my nose is like super itchy right now. But the problem lies within her global passive. Now, for those who don't know, I'm using Honey Hunter World, and I'm not going to go over all the abilities because to me, I feel like the other abilities become moot in regards to what you get by just having her at level 1. Now, I'm going to go ahead and summarize this because this is a good chunk. Basically, what happens is if you own Castorice on your account, you basically prevent any character from like getting a fatal blow once. Now, this could be one character that this happens, or if let's say all 4 of your characters die at once, all 4 of them would go into what's called the Moon Cocoon state. Now, the Moon Cocoon state is, basically just cocoons them from dying for 1 turn. And then if you heal, the Moon Cocoon state goes away, right? So basically, that's the one caveat, is you get 1 extra turn to do something, and then your characters go back to being dead. Unless you heal them. If you heal them, then you're fine. Now, on paper, it's not as bad, right? Because, like, obviously, it's not a free revive, right? But it prevents you from dying once. And then you have 1 turn to get your crap together, right? And I don't think that that's wherein lies the problem, right? A lot of people are just like, I've seen this everywhere. People are like, well, it's not that big a deal because the ability is really not as crazy as you might think. There's this, this, and this. And they're right. It's not a big deal when it comes to the ability. And I want people to understand this. It's the precedence that it sets forward for other characters coming to Honkai Star Rail. Now, for those who don't know, I've been a player since closed beta test 1 of Honkai Star Rail. I was very appreciative of the fact that I was able to get into that first beta test. And I've loved Honkai Star Rail since. I think that Honkai Star Rail was, and I guess still is, a great turn-based RPG, right? I think it's really fun. The problem I have, and this has been kind of culminating since, the late 2.0s to the, current, like, 3.0s. My issues is that Honkai Star Rail is growing staler by the second. And I feared that this would happen because of the fact that it is a turn-based RPG. It's very tough to find abilities that will work for you, I guess, in essence, with the characters, because this isn't like an action RPG type of game like Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, and even ZZZ, to where you're actually going around and using these characters like that. You are going turn-based, so you have 1 attack, 1 skill, 1 ultimate, and it branches out from there, right? Not every character obviously has 1 of each. It's like you could use a skill and then you get an extra basic attack that isn't normal. Like Gallagher's use the ultimate and then you get an enhanced basic attack. But what I'm getting at is that I feel as though with Honkai Star Rail, it's tougher to be innovative, I guess. And to me, there wasn't really much else that they could go to when it comes to the global passive. At least that's what it seems like. And maybe I'm just not a creative motherfucker, right? I do 1 take videos. I don't do a lot of editing. because I don't know how to edit, right? And maybe my opinion is invalidated because I'm not that creative in regards to that stuff, right? However, I do think that they could have found an alternative. There's always an alternative route that people could take in regards to games, right? So there could have been. I just don't know what it was. Now, in regards to global passive, I think global passives in general should not be in any gacha game because instantly it's predatory if you. Oh, let me rephrase. I don't think global passives should be introduced into characters because of how predatory they can be. Because if you're introducing them into characters, unless they are free to play and you're giving them right out the gate, uh, putting them on banners to summon for is pretty freaking cringe, to be honest. It's pretty predatory, and Hoyoverse knows this. They're not dumb. And I think people give an excuse to $1 billion company way too much in regards to that. Hoyoverse does not need you to defend them. They're going to do whatever they want. And I also want to point out, before anybody says it's another Western CC complaining about a Chinese developer, well, it's not just the Western CCs. When it comes to the CN side of things, CN is not very happy about the global passive either. And it's because, again, what precedent it sets going forward. And I have to preface this again. Like, to have something that you have to either pay money or save your freemium currency to even get, and you have to use it to get this character, it's pretty bad looking. And it's not just going to be Castorice. They've confirmed that there's going to be more characters like this, right? And that's what's sad, is that this is going to be the state of Honkai Star Rail moving forward. I fear that as time goes on, they're gonna put like bosses that one shot you, so you have to have a Castorice on your team. Or you have no chance. You have no choice otherwise. There might be characters where it's like if you don't have this, or there might be characters that you need a global passive like 50 points of speed boost or whatever to get your 200 speed or whatever. Like there's many things that they could do that are worse than this global passive, but it's the fact that those could happen now. It opens a door. If you like look at it from the perspective of a courtroom, like you know how usually like a plaintiff is supposed to provide evidence in regards to the counts of something right then and there. Like if the person who's the defendant has previous um like let's say arrests or anything like that that don't pertain to the case, the plaintiffs aren't supposed to talk about it really. Like they have to kind of like go around it. But if the defendant, and in this case it's Hoyoverse, puts out this stuff in the first place, they open the door to be scrutinized by the community, right? So to me, I feel like Hoyoverse now has put themselves into they put themselves in a corner to where now they have doubled down on this global passive. They're going to keep going with it. They're going to do it to more characters. And I feel like it's going to cause a lot of people to not play. Now, is this going to affect Hoyoverse in general? Probably not. Probably not. Because really, and I think a lot of content creators forget that while, yes, we are a very vocal bunch, we're the minority. And when it comes to overall players, I don't think that Honkai Star Rail is going to go anywhere. I think the global passive stuff, like even with CN players having problems with this, even with Western CCs and Western players having problems with this, I don't think HSR is going to go anywhere. You know, it's going to stay there. It's the same thing with Genshin. We all have our problems with Genshin, but still, like, people still play it. I still play it. I just don't spend money on it anymore. To me, I feel like no one should summon for Castorice. And people could call it another boycott. I'm not going to call it a boycott. I'm just saying that if you are wanting to see change, you need to be one of the people to make change. So to me, I will not be summoning on Castorice. I've made that. I'm 100% going for it again. And it might be torturous to me because, again, Castorice is one of those characters I really like. I really want to summon, or not really want to summon. I really would like to play Castorice, but at the same time, the precedence that this sets forward and the predatory practices behind it is going to cause more harm than good. And this might carry over to Genshin. This might carry. I would hate it if it carries over to ZZZ, right? So I really hope that Hoyoverse doesn't carry this over into other games. And it makes me appreciative of other games and other companies like Kuro Games with Wuthering Waves, Shift Up with Goddess of Victory, Nikke, and all the games that are going to be coming out if they decide not to go this global passive route. Because I think this is the first game or first gacha game that has gone this global passive route. And I hope it's the last. Now, if you're going to be summoning for Castorice, don't let this video stop you. If that is what you want to do, that is what you want to do. I am not here to tell you that you should just skip everything, fuck Hoyoverse and stuff like that. I'm not going to say that. What I am going to say is that if your morals say this is predatory in way more than usual, like gambling is predatory in general. Like if you go to a casino and gamble, you gamble, right? But to me, like this is a far different issue than just gambling on a waifu. This is gambling on making your account just better, and then it's going to get worse as time goes on. Because Castorice is going, like this ability, this global passive, is going to be overshot by a lot in the future. Like, I highly expect them to put something much worse out there. Guaranteed. So to me, I won't be summoning, and I really hope that others don't as well. If you want to consider this a boycott, you can. That's on you. But I truly feel that nobody should be summoning for Castorice. If no one should summon for Castorice if they have a problem with the global passive. That's my take. If you have a problem with global passives, you should not be summoning. If you do summon and have a problem with the global passives, to me, that's kind of hypocritical. And it's not to say anything bad about you as a person, because I don't know you as a person. But you could do a hypocritical thing and not be the worst person out there. Like, hypocrites are out there all the time. Does that mean that you're just this horrible person? No. It just means that that situation, like, makes it sound hypocritical. That's me. So, to me, if you summon on this and you still have problems with the character, that's hypocritical. It's just how it is. Like, if you don't agree with me, that's fine. We'll have differences in opinion. But I know I'm not the only one that thinks that. So, to my other CCs, hopefully you do consider not summoning for Castorice. I know that I'm low on the totem pole. Barely any big CC is going to see this. I would love to see other CCs comment about this stuff, which they have for the most part. But I feel as though that there needs to be some solidarity in regards to the CCs. So I hope that CCs that said that they were going to summon don't summon, but I can't stop them, and I'm not going to say that I should stop them. I'm just going to put out there that this is how it seems. And that's really all I got. I'm just very upset about Honkai Star Rail. I really did love this game, but it seems like my love for it, it's like the crazy girlfriend or crazy boyfriend that when you see the one thing and you're like, you shouldn't be doing that, and then they go freaking batshit insane. That's how this feels to me. And I'm looking at my batshit insane partner and being like, yeah, I need to break up with them. So I don't know. I'll probably end up like playing just to like experience the story, I guess. But even then, I'm even questioning even touching the game anymore. And that's what sucks. I don't know. I hope Hoyoverse does something about it, but I doubt they will. Anyways, I'm done rambling. My apologies, y'all. I didn't do a script for this. I felt like it would be more genuine if I just say it from the heart, say it from how it's going. Um, yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you think. Respectfully, I'm not going to be summoning for Castorice. I don't think anybody should. That's just me. Anyways, y'all, that's going to be it. Love you guys to death. And as always, we'll catch you in the next video. Please take care and be safe.